yes, SEA today could come out just looking spectacular. Already in the upper bracket, and then the previous match of Peace Cup. SA, and now also SEA as Boom Esports have their chance. So yeah, the Giants seem to be falling. You're right, Lizzo.
And the Giants did look kind of wounded when it comes to PSG LGD throughout the year. They're an amazing team, but they are the team from the last year in which whatever they pick, like VP back in the day, and win the tournament with all PSG LGD isn't necessarily the same. We've seen them falter at the Arlington Major. We've also seen them in the BPC seasons. Like in the BPC seasons.
Yes, mga B, nagbabalik tayo. Hello, Jmar, Jansen. Nakakalungkot naman.
They struggle.
Nakakalungkot ka, no?
Lungkot AG, nakakainis. Nakakainis. Alam mo yun pa naman binot kong champion. AJ, binoto ko kasi syempre ang ganda ng run nila. Ilan score nila? 14-2 ata. Parang 12-4. Parang 12-4. Wala,
Boom na ba?
Oo, ito, Boom, saka LGD. Dito na lang si Japoy. Kala pa naman namin po, finals yung AJ kasi pupunta pa naman ka. Talo ka, pumunta ka. Hindi kasi ako nagbebet eh. Tamang ano lang ako noon.
Ayoko naman. Siguro sa finals na lang.
Ito, Boom, di mo pinustahan. LJD, pustahan. Laglag sa akin, madam. Grabe si K1, no? Grabe mag-farm si K1, mga B. So, nagbabalik tayo ulit ngayon, guys.
So we're going to be going into match 1 here. It's going to be a good one.
Nakakaloka.
Boom Esports versus PSG LGD. Game 1.
Alright, and we get to be a little bit nerdy now as we go into the picks and jazz. I can see she nodding a little bit. Yes, we are. But just to kind of, before we go too much into the kind of heroes. But
Hello, John Andre.
It'll take them a little while to get a few moments to get started. Who are we really focusing on if I'm watching from home from each team?
Like, if I'm looking at PSG LGD, I'm looking at Fabian. Like, this man is retiring, but he's not retired yet. He needs to be enabled. Like, you can't give him heroes that are countered by one or two on the opposite side. But like the Enigma that was drafted for him in recent games, right, versus Secret, is countered by Global plus another laner. If you enable Fabian like he was enabled in the DP game, he can be that third carry.
And on the flip side for Boom, I think FBC, we don't really mention him too many times, but in that previous series,
It's offlaners again.
again, this is coincidentally, but it's just the fact that in that series, he was a Beastmaster, he had the lowest network out of anyone, but he found ways to play his hero without dying. He ended the game 2-1-13. He was instrumental in punishing Team Spirit's lifesteal when he overextended Brawl into death. So I think FBD is kind of like an unsung hero, at least for the broadcast that I've seen, where he consistently just finds his way to enter the game as the offlaner.
What do you think who enables the offenders better, ZinQ or Tims? Or are they kind of similar?
I am a huge Tim's fan. I think it's hard for me to say because I'll be real, I don't particularly look at the possibles of these teams too much. Like, for Boom, I just want to add on to what T said. Yeah, you can look at FBZ, but like, this team is evolving. It used to be that everyone would just pile everything onto Yopaj to give them the best game, and that's what I said the last time we paneled for Boom. But then you watch how they played against Spirit, and actually, they completely turned their playstyle around to be very Jackie focused. Yopaj was playing that utility monster.
Pwede kasi team nila K9, wawa.
To win the game.
No, ano mo dyan, Jason na. Hello, John Renz, Bautista, shout out.
Still noticing this trend of offlane.
Wala ko lang sa champion na yung EG.
Maybe.
If you look at my Doa buff, it's pulse 5. But if you look at the extensive history of my Doa buff, it's offlane, baby.
And when you look at the teams as well, they are focusing the offenders early on, right? You see the Enigmas being banned out.
75. Ina mo.
Versatile, but he gets booted most of the time as well. We'll see if Clock, perhaps Silencer will get out. Perhaps Silencer not, as Enigma is already banned, right?
Yeah, I remember a time where C teams against Boom and GBC were just banning FBZ's Mars and Pango first 2 bans because he was just so obscenely good at these heroes, and he would just use everything. Like he would push the heroes to the absolute limit of what they could do. Like his Pango, he would play to the last sliver of health. just to try and get that extra shield crash for Swashbuckle, just that extra little kill off.
Pretty predictable bans here. I can see you with all your cheating. You're going to pay to be here to governor. Why have you got all the
Ayan.
answers in front of you?
Hello, Stephen J. Paras, Christian Clarence Hernandez. Siya, ano nangyari sa AG? Hindi ko nga alam. Eh. Ang ganda ng run nila dun sa, ano.
What Boom's openings have been, and it's Tiny, Marcy, Enigma, and then like the much out of it, and then 4, 5, 6 heroes like that, and then flanking around in first phase. But if you lose the top,
Ewan ko, bakit nagkaganon? Ang cute-cute ni ano, ni Tero.
Something they liked from the last game, perhaps as well.
they've only first picked Chen once so far.
Hindi niya talaga masasabi, mga B.
They did it before a couple of other times, but the first
Dota.
time they did it was against Sonic Switch, they actually lost. But very much was a in-your-face style draft. It was Chen, Let's Rank Mars, TA, the quick rotation with the TA, the aggression, the heal, the Chen.
Ooh, Tusk is fun because that Kango mid, we've seen Nine playing it. I think Yopaj has played it in the past as well. It's a hero that initially was really cool to see come out because people weren't familiar with the mid matchup. So we saw like Puck versus Tusk in Arlington, and the Tusk would win the lane because they didn't.
Ay, nandun pala yung family ni Abed.
You don't go this
Nandun pala sa
tactic, you
dito.
go the other two nukes, you're able to farm and do those
Mga
damage at the
kapatid.
same time. So Tusk, very fun hero to come out in the early phase because of that flex.
Especially because Tusk enables the 5 positions to, once they win the lane, to rotate and get perfect and they pick the critical main. It's like, against Chen, this will lock down one lane, but you don't really rotate as quickly as they double support your potentially. So now see Tusk, if they win their side lane, and now they're running into mid, I'm sure if you bring the correct creeps, might be able to help out, but so the 8-7 boost support your break is already a little bit quicker than what a Chen +1 can provide.
And Crystal Maiden is still decent against the Chen. If not on her own, then she provides the backup to everyone else on the team to actually spam out all the nasty beats that he brings to the table.
They feel so way that poor Boom are second pick, so they will get to react later down the line. But seeing a second pick where they just pick 2 supports shows a little bit of flexibility to be tough, but not often you just see, here's my 2 supports, let's now play some Dota.
It does open you up for it's a little bit harder.
Ayos na ako. Bomba na sa bomb. Nice one, Boss Kenya. Naniniwala ako sa'yo. Alam mo no. Baka naman.
Is he everyone's idol since the Singapore Major? Like that one Windrunner game literally turned everyone into his fan.
We're all a big fan of Yopaj. He is so humble, so talented.
You always know this.
Hindi lalabas
Don't
niya.
forget that this is a TI
Nasaan?
full seat left, right? Like if they get eliminated,
Sino nag-open?
individual players on the team, so very much is a one hit from Bice.
Pasok dito. Pasok dito, Jis. Ice. Pasok. She knows what she's doing.
Special, right? Like he enjoys playing the Monkey King.
Yes,
Is there
what's
some
that?
possibility? Of course there is. They can still play it on Ziggy, but I do believe it's going to be your position 1, especially now after the ban being banned out.
I think it's a very good carry to pick up here, just because when you see him tough, like the tough specifically in lane, you want to
Ay, Sal, malabas ka.
give you opportunities to build up, and also in the later portion of the game, as soon as you throw down that Wukong, the CM can't stand still at all, probably to die. The tough constant will get be aggressive, you can be out of position. It allows just PSG to play around something in an area now.
Malabas ka din ha. Papaluin kita. Don't do it again. Okay? Don't do that again. Ah! Ice! Papalo. Sumatakudot mo magpalit.
Right now, I look at LGD's heroes and they're really utilizing vision.
Don't do that again ha.
You set out on the map with Chen to the vision of Monkey when he's on the trees.
Lumusot lang, boom, lapag mo na Gcash mo. Nice one, Boss Kenyan! Sige. Feeling ko na, me, pahawi naman ang buhok.
That
Kanino?
kinetic field as well would be good to combo with the Monkey King ult.
Pahawi ng buhok?
You see other heroes that keep people in place like Mars, like Pop, these types of heroes.
Pag ito talaga, mga biya.
For Boom's side, they don't have hard lockdown yet.
Yeah, so for PSG, they're leaning maybe towards like if they can, a second page Runic, just casually stealing any touch of CMs though will feel really good. The Chen Rubik is a TI combo that goes back so many years, and then it just makes sure
Every single TI.
every TI you see at least once or 100 times. And then your offlaner now just needs to be that tankier initiator to enable it. But yeah, Boom are the ones that need to try and evade playing into the overly tanky heroes right now.
Esports turn to battle.
How do you feel about some middle classic finalists for PSG LGD? You are still left in the pool, can be rotated between mid and York.
Uulan pa.
With the Shen. It's an option for them, right?
For sure.
They have drafted it before as well, obviously, as every single team has. TI can.
They'll get to see one more hero before they pick, so I guess that'll be the indicator, right? Because with the CM Tusk, they'll maybe see an offlane pair. That offlane, if it's a ranged hero, will indicate Tusk being the 4 potentially, which will give more leverage for PSG.
Do we all agree that perhaps we're leaning slightly towards PSG LGD when it comes to strength and the flex opening from them? Or do you just...
Alam niyo na gagawin nyo.
I see CM Tusk. Boom's now trying to keep it a bit more.
They're still super flexible because whilst this Tusk could also go mid or forward, this Mars similarly, we literally watched Yopaj play this against Spirit. FBZ is the god of Mars. Like every single game he'll play this hero during DPC, he is so good at it.
Could you not, like, if you're PSG here, this could be like a Kunkka Rubik situation. Now, your Kunkka, it's like damage mitigation against the aggression, CM tough time.
May sino yung hero na ban sa baba, di makita eh. Alisin mo natin yung camera. Ayan, dyan muna. Ayan. Sila Shrek.
So you just have to be, but it does add that little bit of stress, like I have to remember to do this. But
Sila Shrek SF. Go.
Asking for a couple times today.
I think right now that the skirmishing meta that we have, having a solid mid lane that you don't need to always help out that much, and it kind of gives you some comfort throughout the mid game, it just feels really good. Especially like again, looking for
Naglalaro. Nandun sa loob.
So right, they'll get the true sight with PSG with TI, and then she'll be like, I want Rubik and Shao. It's like, nigga, wash your face, you're playing Snapfire. It's like, okay.
Go teams.
But yeah, that's cool. This is nice. I like PSG's second phase picks.
Do like to slam in a way that now you get some damage.
Susugurin mo pag natalikod, pag pupuntahan ka, tatakbo.
Kuya Pin, wala na yung pag-call.
Wala na ulit. Sige.
And Mortimer's kiss is...
Snap's nice. Snap just like provides
Kung binigyan ako niya,
reduction, so this monkey's going to be dealing a lot more damage.
Lalo 700, tapos
I'm
1,000.
a fan of it. It makes the
800 yung pagka.
A very decent response to the Cook Robots. The Cook doesn't do anything for life in that, so PSG, their final pick.
Nakakaloka naman yung... Nakakaloka yung mga nangyayari ngayon.
They can be taking stones, they have no way to prevent the shots from just freely ticking. It's more about, if PSG want to fight this, they stand still and hug each other, that's their fight.
So what are we looking at here? Is it like Beastmaster Slardar or something like that? Do you think we get some heroes that are a little bit versus...
Nananahol nga yan eh. Ano prediction mo dyan? Hello Kian, Senalista Mangging. Let's go, Boom. Boom tayo syempre.
I feel like we're in the same position in which Collapse was yesterday.
Tigas naman itong chocolate.
When it comes to overall draft and how it makes sense.
And Boom Esports, beating Spirit to be here, so they maybe thought they felt the trap.
I'm sorry to talk so much about them, but like the team I know the most for Boom, this is a draft that they have actually run quite a lot. Like in terms of comfort and familiarity, this is something they have played a lot. Jackie's lifesteal throughout DBC Tour 3, he played this very often, and I talked about the playing with Yopaj type strat. This is what they would do. They would have 4 heroes that run around, making space for Jackie, who sits in the safe lane for as long as he can, just farming that Midas into whatever he needs.
And good that you mention it, because I'm so happy that Jackie evolved, because a few years back in T1, he would be always that, not necessarily life stealer, illusion-based hero, right? Like he's always just AFK farming until 30 minutes mark, then he joins. But if you're playing the life stealer, the fight has to come to you sooner than later. Like you actually have to be a bit more active.
He was like that in DBC Tour 1 as well. He was on Motivate Trust playing Brave King Medusa every game. So he's really like boomed on Boom. I'm very happy for him.
Probably scam a little bit, having a sale or two, but order to installing
I'm trying to think for like PSG, the final pick now is in DP PSN. They have the slot out route, but I think that could be a little bit of an issue into a CM in the lane if you like that speed. The other option is like maybe like a Legion. or when you have the Legion that Luxor steps up, you instantly draw him. You don't really have a lot of burst damage, but with the dispel, the fact that you can take some of the earlier fights just through Boom wanting to run at you, you just defensively reposition, you wait, you bide your time, you see an opportunity, then you jump.
What about instead of that, instead of caring about knocking down Luxor really hard, you just focus on bowling up? Because this Monkey King, he's going to be able to put down like his Wukongs, and they're just going to fight in it as a ball with the boat buff, and running with these Chen auras and creeps and pushing towers together. Maybe they can just like buff the strengths that they already have in their lineup instead of trying to like patch holes.
No, look at them when they are taking like even more for you, man. Like they're going way out there and they're taking perhaps even quicker.
Ano yung ban katabi ng bat sa kapatch?
Monkey will be in position.
Ay, nakaano pa yung ano ko. Katabi ng bat tsaka patch. Ano, Death Prophet.
Even though I completely understand why you're
Hello, Andy Lobiano and Reggie Basalo. Ayan, shoutout sa inyo mga B. Share niyo yung live natin, mga beer! Makaloka naman kayo. Hindi kayo nag-share ng live.
Go into the mid game now where one good fight outside the Roshan pick, you get that Aegis, Boom Esports, their entire lineup, it feels like if we don't get the kill with that big spear,
Tingnan natin kung sino ang swerteng kalbo.
get cheaper fights, but that's where Boom's final pick needs to be able to take prolonged fights, multiple fights. If you get a big cooldown there, then
are we looking at the spirit then for your patch?
yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning a little bit.
Jackboy Ember down. I mean, I'm just. It is going to be his Mars in it, I think. And
So Tusk or Mars?
Oh no, it could be Tusk. Yeah.
I think Mars on the offense, so you can spirit the Monkey King away.
It's an off-lane.
Actually, Mars safe.
Off-lane Phoenix, my man, easy.
Alright.
It's new.
Okay, so
Minus attack speed on Monkey and Flood is always going to be good.
Guwapo ni Ame.
it's not only the minus attack speed, you always keep vision on the Monkey King. You can dive over the trees, you can bring him down. It's one of my actually favorite matchups to play on the offlane. Even though it's not really popular right now, it's really strong. Plus with the you can take him down from the trees.
But then on the flip side, PSG, they've got Jinky on one of his specialty heroes, Snapfire, the little shredder. You get into position with Blink Down, you kill that egg, you're deleting the core down, not support. So a lot of emphasis on FPG, you have last pick in the draft, you pick up a Phoenix, you're going to be really clutch with your eggs in this game.
But it wouldn't be Boom Esports unless they did something like this.
Go crazy.
Nagmata ba Kyle?
I'm leaning quite heavily towards PSG LGD. Snap versus Phoenix, Slowdown versus Knives. It just looks simple, but
Yeah, it's also like Conker's going to go for this AC Hex build, I want to say. I mean, I don't know if he has a different idea, but this, like with a Halberd maybe in there too, it all seems like Conker's item build helps counter Boom's a lot.
You would.
I believe in the boys. Boom are very good at skirmishing and fighting early. They can easily like outplay LGD just for fighting.
And T, what do you make of this?
But I think I agree with what Lyndon mentioned about this draft. I think there's a lot of pressure on this Arctic Phoenix, and I just like the simplicity of PSG. And this Kunker in the second phase, I think it just kind of unlocked PSG to have a comfortable end to the draft.
And then, of course, game one, I admire Boom to bring out something new and kind of adapt during the draft. I don't know if there's something that's planned. We might be able to find out actually, because we're going to have a post-draft interview with Boom Esports. It's the coach.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, Mushi, we are here. Thank you for taking time out. Very aggressive draft, very interesting draft. Phoenix on the Monkey King. Pretty exciting stuff here. The crowd is going absolutely ballistic, so please, were you expecting this kind of draft from LGD? I'm sure you did a lot of research there. The crowd favorites. Any surprises coming out from their side?
Not really. I think we read them quite well. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Are you going to have the momentum to win this game? That's
Proud ka ba, Wenyos? Go Boom! Hello, Mayel! Kian Senyalista. Ayan, shoutout sa inyo mga B. Ay, sila ano magkakas? Mga C.
Number one here between PSG, LGD, and Boom Esports. John, you hear this crowd? It is absolutely electrifying in here. You've seen both these drafts. What are you thinking?
I think we're going to have a good game regardless. We've got a few surprises from Boom. We heard Mushi. It's all according to plan that they're getting out there. So,
We'll
March
see
to
if they're
Japan.
truly ready for that plan. We've got a lot of fans from Southeast Asia and a lot of fans of Chinese teams here too. So the crowd is going to be loud throughout the entire game, and I'm looking forward to see some of that Southeast Asian and Asian spirit overall.
Absolutely, that's what we love to see. We do get into the game one. Jonathan, one of these teams has to leave today. It's not a best of one this time around. We've got a best of 3 series, but so much on the line, and it feels like this is a series that just shouldn't be happening. We're in round 2 of the whole bracket. Boom Esports had 1.4% chance of making it through the playoffs from the group stage in PSG LGD. I mean, you would have just thought they were in the grand
Halamak natin mga mukha nila.
Yeah, they've had such a smooth run throughout the year. Maybe the performances were a little bit...
Go, go, go!
Not really matching.
Uy, gabi, ano? Wala, hindi ako nakapik!
A lot of people had high hopes for them.
Putang ina.
Every single
Mihi
time
kasi
we
ako.
see them go into an international tournament, it's always kind of falling flat, but this is this could be their opportunity to prove everyone wrong as well. Again, a lot of hopes hanging on that last Southeast Asian team here.
Absolutely, we'll see how it does go. Of course, we'll start with the mid lane. Nothing to say going to be there against the Aro Yopaj. The Mars versus Kunkka. What are you thinking about this one? Who has the advantage? Who should win out this lane?
I mean, it feels a lot easier for Kunkka, right? You've always got Tidebringer coming out. The Mars has some play there. By level 2, level 3, you can threaten, you can get some good spear backs, but it's just a lot more consistent for the Kunkka to kind of work that lane as long as kind of dodges out the Yopaj's direction and does the win.
What about that bottom lane, John? I mean, you've got Jackie and Scam, of course, against Fate beyond there on that slide. I mean, it seems like a bit of a tough lane for Jackie as it does go on.
May sounds na sumasapaw saan ba? Dito yun, sa bata, nanonood.
Do you think maybe the Crystal Maiden can
Ayan, nalalakas ako
pressure
na
as the
lang.
game goes on?
Somewhat, it's really aggressive lane. We heard what the panel was saying about that bond lane. It's
Eli,
the snap
pahina ng
all the
sounds
stuns
mo,
in the world. You
Eli.
can just easily eat through the lifesteal if
Konti
you're
lang.
not careful, especially
Thank
in those early
you.
levels. Yeah. And it's just chain stun after chain stun. The CM can only do so much in his lane. You do have enough mangoes out from Skem to kind of sustain the harassment, but when it comes to commitment, I don't see LGD really being shoved away just from Skem's presence.
Yeah, and you've got that deadly combination as well, right, with the cookie into the crush. It's just so hard to escape, and I'll see how they do try to abuse it. Of course, we did have a look at that top lane as well as Yopaj. He does end up missing that speed. The top lane, FBZ and Tim's going to be against Arme, and of course, why? Seems like a bit of another rough lane for both sides, or at least for Boom Esports. The Phoenix off lane coming out as well against Snapfire kind of surprised us, John. But what do you think about this top lane?
I mean, it makes sense in some ways. You know, attack speed slow onto the Monkey King does make that lane really annoying. At the same time, Ame can just kind of dance around a lot more, but it's an added attack range.
Right.
But he's not directly in front of creeps. He has some leeway to walk away when he does see the fire spirits coming out. And with Y around, you just take a really annoying creep. You can always trade fairly well up against Tim's. You can't really fully commit for the combinations here on Boom early on with the tag team, as we do see the shards coming out from Tim's here as well. It does feel like for Boom, this is maybe a level 3, heck, even level 4 or 5, where you can really start to get aggressive. And that might be more than enough room for Ami to just farm up and get what he can.
Yeah, I mean, you saw why he went for the early Divine Fame. I was going to say Divine Rapier. John, still thinking about yesterday's game, and just wanting to play a passive lane, I think he is, of course, why? He's going to do his best to make sure he does remain alive. You do see the headdress as well, of course. Plenty of region available there and why. Just making sure his Monkey King can stay there forever. See what Tim's and FBZ can try to do about it. Back into the mid lane, nothing to say. Like you mentioned, John, should have a very good time and is having a very good time. 17-3 on the Kunkka. Well, we've seen this man.
Hello po, Kenneth Diendo Novello. Shoutout sa'yo. Haba ng pangalan.
Bit of a masterclass here against
Parang ayaw niya naman magpakilala sa
Same
Facebook.
goes for Yopaj, though. He plays a lot of Kunkka, so he should understand the ins and outs of almost every matchup. It is just tougher. Again, Kunkka's just much more consistent with a harassment there.
Ay, thank you po. Na chocolate lang kinain ko ah.
Top lane, just trying to make sure these pulls don't get away. Bot lane, in a bit of activity. Faith Beyond and Sync-Q have been getting rather low on the Snapfire and the Slaughter, but they will regen up with that South Faith on Faith Beyond. Though a nice cancel there from Skem. It's against that Crystal Maiden, as long as you've got the regen. And BZ top lane, he got rather close to dying, but he's going to be just fine. Question is, does he have the regen to remain in the lane now?
Sino ba yung ano, yung laging inaanong
at least the tangos and the ring of regions
kilalang
a little bit more to play with. That's just a lot of space coming out from
yung support?
si ano? From anyone else.
Sino ba yung support, Mabi? Hello, Rafi Toledo. Video it kayo sa Mark. Meron na kaming ginawa para sa Sunday lalabas. Sino ba yung ano, sikat na support na lalaki?
Rotation at some point towards mid might ruin that tempo for Yopaj, but he really wants in this lineup. It feels like the Mars is going to be setting in for Boom.
Very close to the balance strike there for Army, just barely off and connecting with FBZ. Still blowing out the Phoenix very, very
Ano mo ito yung pangalan
FBZ
po?
just going to go back to the fountain for a reset. Of course, going back
Johnny
to
Sins, ayun si Johnny Sins. Thank you, Ryan and Kurt Celis.
Ano ba yan?
Halatang mga ano ha? Nanonood kayo ha? Kayo ha? Siya to. Gago. Mga ito, si Ryan sa si Kurt to. Halata ah. Ayan ha. Ako di ko nga siya kilala eh. Hindi kasi ako nanonood yun eh.
He's always got the XTP back for a top up if he really does feel the pressure. They're not quite committing on Boom to apply that pressure. Still focusing on the side lanes. You see Tim's here just being chased away with a creep army of Y. He's got the most annoying creeps, chain lightning creep and the purge creep up. So you really can't do much about that if you're the Tusk right now.
Trying on to the task. Oh, great bound strikeout from Arme from a mile away, and Y able to secure first blood here for PSG LGD. That was right on the edge there with Arme. My goodness.
And it's just when you have access to that small hand, you get lucky with some of these creeps, it just gets really hard. There's just not much the Tusk can do. And again, Ame's just getting a lot of space out. 23 to 13 and CS slightly above Jackie. But the Monkey King can kind of just get active a little bit faster, though, I feel like.
So he's going to have a rotation up towards the north, maybe just scouting out that dire triangle. Of course, power runes are coming up very, very soon. We'll see if Boom want to try and secure both sides as well here. He's actually just going to go for the block on the Ancients in Q. I may not have caught him doing that. I believe he was within the pocket at the time. Well, nothing to say mid lane. He's going to get sharded up here. And they are just trying to contest power runes right now, as you will see Y and Q also join the fray. It's going to be skimmed down to the bot side of the rune that does actually pick up the double damage, so he just gets away with it, just completely denying it off from nothing to say. And just a great way of slowing down the Cook and not allowing any rotations. So as I say that, they may just run mid. Arena is down defensively. Can they take him down? It's a lot of damage flying out, and Q, he'll still land the cookie through the arena. Just on the outer edge, they just hold him down, but now nothing to say. He could be in danger. Tims and Skim getting to work. The double damage, actually doing a hell of a lot of work, but Q, he shows up again. They find another. Is Tims? Can he run now? Q really
Grabe talaga si Shinky triple kill oh. Pang ina. Grabe mag-snap fire! No, masusupo. Cutie niya.
How good your supports are at going towards mid, it's just really easy to bully out. Boom started out with a really good spear opportunity, but not really able to commit with Tim's around. He's under-leveled on the Tusk, still level 2, about to hit 3. There's not much he can really do to help Yopaj fight these
guys. Offlane ano, Phoenix.
Very slow start here for Boom, but a great start for PSG LGD. 3k ahead. Arme, I mean, you kind of talked about this already. He's been just free farming this whole time. 7 minutes in, he's not too far in, but you look at the net worth just snowballing out of control already. You could say the same about every core on the side of PSG LGD, all the way at the top of the 3 cores from the dire end of things, and well, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
Yeah, it's just perfection. 0 to 4, 3k lead at 7.5 minutes in.
Level 5.
All your spikes really fast. Level 6 coming out for Fate Beyond, gonna make it a lot easier to start finding those kills.
Sad ako para kay Ade. Ganun talaga Warren.
The timing's
yeah,
for
pag nakita kami sa
so level
Singapore.
dependent. You're waiting for the egg to kind of tie in with the arena. You want more levels up on your Tusk for a little bit more damage and a little bit more utility out from the snowball and the shards. And you kind of want Jackie to just farm. They need to kind of get their supports online and really get FBZ online with Phoenix, because that's their big combo. The arena egg, it's got to come into play at some point.
It certainly does, and you're always going to have to be worried about Q in the end of the day, right, with that little shredder. She hit that level 1 mark of the egg. LGD, they'll slow the game down a little bit. No need to rush this one, though. As I say that, we do have a rotation in the mid lane. Yopaj. The danger here is Q once again with a fantastic rotation, backing up, nothing to say, but do they have the damage this time around? Yopaj gonna try to run, but they've got it. The Tidebringer was there, and now the cookie back out from Q.
Grabe, sobrang tipid mag-skill nito ni Q, no? Parang alam niya na mapapatay na nila, hindi na siya nag-cookie.
Movement down from his ports down bot, they knew they had enough space to go for Yopaj. They scouted out for the Chen creep at bot lane. And Yopaj just can't do much. Like, the moment he gets X stuff, you do have enough magical damage on LGD, and Boomer just trying to get something on the sides. They're committing so much time to try to find those pickoffs, but LGD just punish.
Slowly. Very, very tough start. I mean, you've just got to try and slow the pace down now if you are Boom. In the meantime, more stats being made, but no, the sentry is still there, so they have not managed to de-ward that sentry that was there by Skim. In fact, he's got them both of them. really trying to slow down the pacing of Nothing to Say. They've done absolutely everything to slow this man down, but he's still top of the net worth board. In fact, he's going to find Jackie on the Lifestealer. X is there, but Rage will be there in time to juke out the cookie. Still Faith Beyond is going to show up. They do have the X-Pac Jackie. He's in huge trouble on Xingqiu. He's going to find a 4th kill. This Snapfire, he's just doing too much work.
He's all over the map, and Jackie popping that rage a bit early. The moment he saw the cookie come out, while the X was on, he had to rage. And he couldn't outlast that X mark, so he just gets punished. There was a smoke rotation out from Boom, trying to head up top, but they're still not finding anything for their trouble. They grabbed Yopaj around for that. It's LGD really working this map out really well, just using the vision they have from the Chen creeps.
Yopaj.
And 50 and Ame.
He's got an arcane room, but in comes Nothing to Say along with Ame. Arena is down, but here come the kisses. Tims, he'll buy them a bit of time, allow them to get away from those kisses, but it's still a lot of damage. Now the angle we drop down Ame. He might be in trouble, but no Tims. He's the one in danger as he does go down to Y. PSG LGD, they'll just keep running. They might just want to reset and just back out of this team fight, as it seems like Boom have brought Jackie over, but it's going to be a bit of wasted time for the Lifestealer. Nothing going to come out for Boom. LGD still 0-7 in their favor. Boom to pick up 1 kill.
And you see how confident they are. They just drag in Ame. They start to use that Monkey King, get a little bit more vision out, get some good jumps in to follow up, and Boom expend the arena and the F. The combination was there, but they didn't lock anyone in. LGD, they're just sidestepping everything.
They are not even giving Boom any leeway. Like, not a crack has been opened yet. Still 0 kills on the board. It's Faith Beyond. He'll take care of the bot T1 tower, has the Mask of Madness up, gonna make very, very quick work of it. This is what I was kind of mentioning earlier, John. Like, against the Lifestealer, you're gonna have such a good time perma-bashing Jackie up if he does get caught out with the initial stun, and see if they can capitalize on it later on. For now, I mean, with the 6k net worth lead, they can basically do whatever the hell they want, LGD.
Yeah, they've got free reign of the map. They've got some pretty good wards by the ramp sides on the river, so they're always going to be able to check if Boom is trying to sneak around without the smoke. Boom, for their part, just constrained on their side of the map. They're not able to cross that river. They're not able to really scout out, use that deep ward they have on the top jungle to stop any of this farm game. Like, it's just a very static game right now for Boom and LGD. And they could play it static now as well. They're going back to farming with Ame, just getting that build up into the Desolator coming out here for the Monkey King. They've even got the early mech up and running for Y. So much more sustainable in these fights. Considering how durable you are with Chen, with Kunkka and the boat ball, even if Boom somehow managed to get that initiation, it doesn't feel like they have enough damage to eat through that.
Absolutely not, mate. If we're talking about damage, LGD, they've got all the damage. Like, you pointed out the Deso on Ame coming out with the Corrosive Haze on top of that. Armlet's just going to do nothing with all that bonus armor you get there on Jackie, and just such a painful experience to have to try and deal with as LGD. They are starting to move in, but Boom are waiting. In there goes Jackie. They find Y. They do have the help around, though. Nothing to say. Trying to save the day of the Chen, but the Y is still going to drop. That's one. Just a pause-fine kill here for Boom, but it is the first kill of the game for them to pick up, and that's a start.
Yeah, it's a start, and not the biggest, but little cheeky.
Oh, Faith Beyond almost finds Tims with the snowball. He's going to buy a little bit of time as Tims is still going to drop it now. Yopaj, he's been caught out. Balance is there as well. They take him down. No chance survival, just perma-stuns out from LGD. Into the tier 1 mid-tower they go.
And it doesn't take too long to push with just how much damage is coming out. Not even a full Deso out from Ame yet. Just with the numbers they have, with a little Shredder to provide some minus armor, it just melts. And Boom, again, they just keep coming in one by one. They find that one kill in the Chen, and then they just don't manage to get anything else. They don't manage to play with their combinations, and LGD just recognize that when they're split up, when the X not a threat, they've got a huge open.
Here we go. Y. Caught out, but the cookie is going to be there. Y will be just fine. Snowball, they're going to follow up. They really want something for their trouble. The Hand of God was there. Y still running. Tornado away. It's just not going to be enough. They even commit the arena for this. It's heavy commitment from Boom, but considering the state of the game right now, they need everything they can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same kill back to back. It's just not swinging that much net worth. You have to commit so many heroes in. It's a lot of space for LGD. They're just able to go elsewhere, able to get that build up they want on Ame, on Nothing to Say, and on Faith Beyond. And there's just no stopping those fours. Boom are lagging behind by a pretty big margin, 14 minutes in, 8k net worth deficit. And the timings for LGD are just ramping up. You know, more damage coming out from Kunkka. BKBs will come out soon. On top of that, Deso timing coming out from Ame. then you have very little to deal with any of that spell immunity here.
Yeah, you certainly don't have much. Zame just continuing with that farm, third in net worth right now, only third to both his two cores on LGD. Nothing to say, still at the top somehow, considering how much they tried to shut the man down, and was Faithbeyond right behind him. Almost has his BKB up now, and that's going to be very problematic. Don't worry about anything here from Boom once you have that up, apart from Jackie, but he's just nowhere near the stage where he's ready to fight. Again, they can just happily slow the game down, understanding their own strategy, their own draft, and just wait till perhaps the mid game to get going once again. Boom, all they can do, I mean, this is the draft where they want to try and move in and start fighting early on, but they just can't make it happen right now. They've got to sit back and relax.
They need to wait for their own BKBs, maybe a blink coming out from Yopaj down the line to kind of help them set up with a better arena, catch some better heroes out, ensure the spear lands on target, and have that follow through from the egg. Because you are playing against a snap, as long as the snap fires outside arena, you're pretty okay in protecting that egg. So your combinations can still kick off. It's just, it's a lot harder than what LGD have, and all they need to do is throw out an X, get a blink up on your Slaughter down the line, maybe after the BKB, and you just have low commitment initiation. It's not going to cost you much from LGD to just keep that aggression, whereas Boom, they can't risk it. They just have to keep playing the slower game, take what space they can, and LGD are just thriving in that environment.
Well, they've got a scan out on SingQ. Scan, he's really the only one around right now. It's PSG or GD, they'll be the ones to move in and try to find the maiden. Sometimes needs vision, but does manage to back out of range.
Yamanin natin kasi.
Stick around. SingQ and Arme, very confident with
Tapos
their own
like
position,
Phoenix.
understanding it's going to be quite hard for Boom to actually pick them off. Instead, Boom will just back their way out, understanding again, they're not ready for a big team fight right now. Not even these smaller pickoffs. Jackie now, double damage is going to be picked up, but he does try to rage away from it. The X, that is, nothing to say. Not going to be able to stop him this time. So important for Jackie to just
Gago, nawala yung...
For now,
Nawala yung
that
DD.
Radiant Triangle just stay within the safety of
Inalis.
the Radiant Jungle.
They don't have the best vision right now from Boom to kind of protect themselves. Only one defensive ward down Bont, very far away from Jackie. They do go for a smoke play here on Boom's end though. Might find something confusing, although Wise there is great.
Yeah, both supports are around. Good positioning from Y, but they are going to chase down SingQ because he's the one with the streak up right now. So SingQ will get stunned up. Yopaj with a very nice spear. SingQ really has no way out of this, so they do secure a nice pickup. Tims will be the one to take it.
Yeah, that's a much bigger kill from Chen. With that streak coming off, Tim's going to get a nice injection of bullets or it's potentially down the line as Blink, which is going to be key to save up. However, LGDM, they're still far.
Hala, akala ko 7 PM pa kasi.
On Faithbeyond.
Oo, kakasimula lang ni Cole. Kakaano lang. And 17 minutes. Dire-diretso nga to, walang pahinga.
Once Faithbeyond's there, this is not going to take too long. And again, they don't have the best wards here to spot that.
It's going to be a very, very fast process. Boom, they are making their way over, maybe trying to force a fight as the shards are out, and they really don't want to let this one go down. But how do you initiate a team fight here? Wukong's being committed by Arme. There's just no chance in hell, so LGD, they'll take the first Roshan of the game. And that mid team on tower, and it might be just time to group up and smoke up.
They've got all the tools they need here on LGD. Huge spikes out. Again, with a fresh BKB on Faithbeyond, with a fresh BKB on nothing to say. These team fights for Boom, it's not going to feel great. They have nothing to pierce through unless they somehow get a full channel on that.
GG pa Boom. Kawawa yung Phoenix sa snap. Hindi ko alam na bakit sila nag-Phoenix eh.
There's an issue right now. Of course, we did see FBC. He's got the Spirit Vessel up now, so they might be able to start moving. Very, very good pause, in fact. Very unusual. We're not going to get the healing pause on the way. ODD.
Who's charge?
Finally, one hit, they're trouble. Doesn't seem like it. The Yopaj is within vision, and Arme is going to try and slow him down. The mask. How do you get out of this one? Arme balanced up. It's off the mark. A very nice sidestep from Yopaj, and he's out. That's the BKB up now as well.
They managed to kill him off. He barely had the gold to buy over rescue. So that would have stalled the BKB a little longer, given the opportunity to fight.
Yeah. He's going to get caught. Nothing to say. Should have no problems taking down the Pulse 5 CM, and does not. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's a much bigger target, but a nice
pumasok ka na hanggat may papasukan ka. Pasok!
He's going to TP out of there with the infest. He's just going to make it. That's a 5-star review right there, Tim's. Perfect timing.
Perfect escape vehicle coming out there right in the nick of time for Jackie to just infest away.
Tikan ka na.
They are dodging out from these bigger kills for LGD to find but you're still not gaining too much ground. You're at least getting that build-up you want onto Jackie here. I mean, he's working onto his own desk, run into each other again.
They may, nothing to say. He's a big target, but the spear is not going to land. Nothing to say. Going to try and go on to Jackie with the X-Pack, but it's not going to work out either. Shards won't be on the mark.
Grabe mag-spam tong mga to.
Control that Radiant jungle for now. At least they're trying.
Mas kawawa pag si KK nag-Phoenix. Itlog yan, Bing! Hindi kaya yan, Brian.
Right into the top tier 1 tower they go. To really open up the map now. This is when LGD starts really choking you out of the map and not allowing you to farm in any safe position. Very strong play here from LGD, and you kind of wonder what Boom does about it.
They're just trying to retake control down bot. You do have really good forward vision here from LGD with their observer marks here. They're going to be able to see who's farming in the bot jungle.
Grabe.
And they're really still
11k gold lead.
for 2 minutes 40. They just melt these objectives with the Chen army and all the minus army they have with them. A little Shredder and Desolator up and running. It doesn't take long to just wipe this map out for Boom.
Yeah, absolutely not. LGD, they'll even find the top tier 2 tower, no problem. Can't play from LGD. Towards the bot lane army.
BKB na si
Currently on
Army.
defense for the team 1. Again, Boom Esports currently just playing the avoiding game, not wanting to deal with LGD whatsoever, as they are still 11k behind. Just gonna stick as a group right now, but the problem is you are still kind of being choked out. You're not getting any farm, and you're letting Army get all the farm in the world right now. That's going to be a huge problem.
It's going to be a massive issue, man. One thing that Boom does have to play with now is a fresh blink up on Tim. So they've got some saving plays with the snowball. They can try to be a little bit more aggressive. I think you ideally just want Yopaj's blink at this point. Again, have that arena at the ready. Try to get some control out. Try to kill some of these key heroes. LGD just don't provide any openings. They're sticking loosely together in the same side of the map. Again, they've got better control. Really good wards to watch that top lane and just control the jungle area. And once they commit to a push, Boom just don't even bother trying to defend, so they might be able to get away with maybe all the tier 2s very soon.
It does seem that way. The bottom tier 2 tower just going to go down for absolutely nothing. Boom Esports just no interest in trying to defend. They will let it go down. LGD acting like they might go high ground here. I'm not quite sure about that one.
21 minutes.
Oh,
wala. Sayang yung
He might try for this, and he will. It's not going to be a long process. Not with Faith beyond an army, just hitting away at that tier 3 tower. FBZing in Tims, they'll hang around the tree line. In goes Tims with the Walrus Punch. Army, he'll get 4 staffed away and he'll be just fine. They don't want to take the fight anyway. With the Aegis up, they'd rather force LGD back. It's a substantial amount of damage being dealt by LGD. I think Boom will just be satisfied with the fact that their base is still intact for now.
That's cost them at least one fortify and a lot of TPs out. Jackie is just hanging around and trying to farm top. They will try to smoke off the back of that though. Being able to snipe someone out while nothing saves.
Saan na pa kami? Tuesday. O kaya Monday.
Maybe Boom just not going to be able to really maximize this smoke. They need the kills. They've got to find a pick off somehow.
Where do they go? Very hard position for Boom. Gonna try and find a way to get towards that Rochelle pit, but it's just not that easy crossing that mid lane. There's nothing to say. He's gonna show himself in that Kunkka. He has the X-Pack, so he knows he's safe. No way to lock him down. Esports again, fighting their time. Giving more time over to Jackie, who's not too far behind. He's about 2.3k behind Army right now, but considering the state of the map, it's just so hard to find that farm. It's not the only army you have to worry about, because again, Faith Beyond, he's pretty much transitioned to his own style of carry now, going into the Blink Dagger. Just really needed, but just with that massive initiation now on the Slaughter, it's just, for Jackie, it's just so hard to get away.
It's an extremely difficult time for him. You're so armored up now on the Kunkka, again, with all the saves you also have on LGD. You don't really have the highest burst damage on Boom. Jackie's going to need to twack away at the Lintell for a very long time. It just doesn't feel like you'll be able to sustain that. LGD going out for the smoke play now. It just is gone. They don't have the safety back, but it doesn't feel like they even need it.
Certainly does not. Try to be aggressive here. Boom, very patiently waiting the tree line. They seem to have an idea. LGD are looking for a fight.
Radiant are scanning.
Control the triangle for now, LGD. Scan is there from Boom. Know exactly where LGD are at the moment. Get 14k deficit. They don't want the fight right now, and it does seem like they're going to successfully be able to get away from LGD. Thing is, if you are LGD, you might just set up for the mid-tier 2 tower now. It's the only outer tower that's standing. Seems like White is just going to get started. Is he doing a decent enough job with the support, the Fire Spirits, just kind of pushing them back? Because he does see nothing to say, does not really want to deal with the Conquer right now. GD. And find a double damage rune now, but nothing to say. This could be prime opportunity for them to try and force another fight. Thing is, they've got to find Boomies.
I don't mind LGD actually just playing this safe. They've got control of the triangle. They've got the superior precision to push into that tier 2. Whereas Boom have to play low ground on the defense.
May sumpa ata si M ngayon lahat ng game na may si M kadalasan talo.
At the least, you've got a way to initiate.
Hindi natin alam.
Again, it's so difficult to find the right target here to combine with FBZ's egg. They will go for a smoke play though.
Very awkward timing though with that rune available. Boom. They're going to try and finish. They've got a bit of vision in that mid lane, but they don't know where LGD are right now. Maybe they've got a brief idea, but the smoke is there. Fade beyond. He's going to just smoke broken you apart. Not reacting quick enough to catch him out. Now both teams understand exactly where each other are. So they are going to try and bait them forward, but boom, they're being very
Basta may ilaw sa labas tayo.
They understand they've kind of missed their opportunity to surprise LGD.
Friday nga pala ngayon.
Just going to back away once again. You really do need that first initiation in this kind of game.
And it's just so difficult to find. You have so many things to worry about. Can you really try to kill off Punka in the first burst salvo? Can you try to take care of Monkey King? Maybe you have to take care of Fate Beyond, just in case Jackie gets focused on down the line. The threat of the snap bar is always there for SinQ. He is inside the arena and the X in the right.
Grabe mag-farm si Ame. Putang ina.
It's very conditional for Boom.
Yaman.
And for LGD, it's just such a clean game. 3 to 10, 15k lead, 25.5 minutes in. They've choked out Boom to pretty much just stay in the bot jungle area for their own farm and Jackie.
Getting a jump on here down bot lane. That's how the range available. So we're trying to run is now Fade Beyond. He's going to make his way over, but a nice invest blink away. So they should be just fine though. Fade is still trying. Meanwhile, they have ended up getting Skim out of there as well, so he's fine. So it seems like they are not going to be able to catch up once again. We're doing a fantastic job of avoiding the side of LGD.
Naulan pa.
Actually, just kind of running across the map, trying desperately to find a pick up, but finding absolutely nothing. It's really turning into a game of hide and seek this game one.
Just putting waiting for those items up on LGD. Yeah, they would want to get some kills. They need a kill to keep security tier 2 here. Aggressive.
Napakabilis naman ang kamay niyo. Wala. Hindi tayo. May Roshan pa. Bilis ng kamay yun. Dinudge lang yung spear. Pangalang pick ba yung Phoenix? Support na ba dapat yun? Ito napansin. Lakas naman ng ulan. Umuulan, Brian. Anong gagawin ko? Nakakaloka ka. Sigla mo na lang. Pag nanalo ko, sasagutin ko sa'yo. May magagawa ba tayo sa ulan? Masyadong malakas yung micro natin. Umulan nga, Miguelito. Umulan nga. Sorry na, God bless. Lang ba nga gawa sa ulan, Brian, no? Nakakaloka ka naman. Siyempre, bubong ako. Kung wala akong bubong, basag niya. May kita naman natin na tatatayan, no? Lalo. Ay, boy, pumasok. Yung itlog. Jeju. Oh my God. Parang wala man lang, hindi man lang pinagpawisan ba? Ganun lang yun. Kala ko nasalab ka ng microwave, baliw. Naku. Parang lukot-lukot naman yan, Jaboy. Ang ulan to. Tayo na lang natin yung game 2. Ayan. Ako wali. Bumpanes mo. Planado. Nakakainis. Aegis yung pala nasa likod niya. Ulan to. Hindi naman tumawag pala. Senyales na yun naman. Hoy, kakaligo ko lang. Kayo na pa ako. Maaga ako naligo, no? Kasi nga, maaga yung game. Maaga ako natulog kagabi. Siyempre, hindi naman lahat pwedeng umulan, be. Diba pulo-pulo nga ang ating bansa? Ano dati? Ano ba ito? Ang ganda ng gagamba, be. Gago, ang dami. Ito, eh. Ano yan? Ano to? Daming sapot, bes. Daming nagamba. Hoy, kapal nyo. Ba yan? Ano nangyayari? Sino na lang aabangan natin pag nag-finals na, Divine? Kuha ko nila sa oh my god.
The greatest Southeast Asian casters in the last game, and the last team in Southeast Asia. Guys, just want to talk to you honestly. These guys, MLB, John X. Potter, the best in the world, and casting scene in this game is just so ironic. So I just wanted to thank you and introduce you, Casey, please.
I'll let it to you. No, not back to you. Yeah, no, how exciting is it to be together in real life? Because he was telling me that you only met in person, like, recently after casting together for how many years?
5 years it was.
What?
Yeah, it was 5 years. It was a long-term relationship. A long-distance relationship. Yeah, it was a rough road, but we could take it together. It was lovely.
This is your very first TI. It's your very first time being able to be on the big stage in your region. Like, talk us through the feelings of it.
It's amazing with the crowd.
Ma'am PK kasi gamit ni Ame.
Nervous? No, but I kept expectations low. When we got the message, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was washing my dishes at like 2 a.m. and I just sat down on the floor. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if it was real. It's just been, it's different. It's amazing. Yeah. I feel like it's different. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So I know you guys have a lot of pride. And this is my one moment. You guys have been doing a great job of casting and not being biased as F as a lot of guys. But now, in this moment, in a non-professional setting, bias can never be so great. But now, in this moment, in a non-professional setting,
Chanting that, they're gonna get good.
As if it can be a game number 3. There's no doubt about it. We're going to game 3, ODD, they haven't watched their faces. We all know what happens after they do that. We're going on game 3.
Game 3? Are we going there? Spoon coming back? Hello?
I saw one thumbs up.
Thank you so much. One time.
So yes, Boomy Sports, that's SEA team. That's not something that we want to drive home because it's really just about you are carrying it now. You don't always have to carry the weight in your whole region. But do they have it in them to take on PSG because PSG out of the group stages 4-4-1, Boom 1-3-5. PSG lost the secret to being in. Of course, Boomy Sports did beat Team Spirit, but it's blue as we look at our in the mirror, in terms of the kind of state they felt that team was in, or at least their confidence.
Dalawa pala.
PSG have a big round give it more of a run potentially through this tournament.
It really did. It's hard to judge from game one because it was a start
midfielder. Maybe there was a patch or two where he was 4 or 5, maybe offline going into rotation speed, but that's a long time ago. Like Jackie, I think it's fine. On the live stream already under maturity, he's improved a lot as a positional player. However, I have to hark back. Phoenix so far just didn't allow him to play the game.
Parang kamukha ka na si Jack.
He's got a decent rate so far at STI, but when teams pick it, seeing with the ball, seeing the stuff, it's like, okay, it's going to feel good. But then suddenly the enemy start changing a bit with a little bit of a shift in momentum. The lifestyle in the hero that it needs time.
Magkano ba MMR ng Immortal? Hindi ko alam. John Clifford Dorias. Hindi nga nanalo kami kahapon eh. 5,640 na lang ako. So ayan na mga B, game na. They are back with a brand new track. O ano naman kung Immortal yung sa akin, hindi ko naman siya binili, B. Nakatama naman yung mga nakalagay doon na Battle Pass, B. O, edi congrats sa'yo. Pwede ka na mag-next na TI, John Clifford. Ano? I mean, kung immortal ka, magkano ba para maibig? No? Ewan ko sa'yo. Pogi ni Ame, oh. Pa-picture ako dun kay Ame pag nagkita kami. Parang mas magandang shot. Ano yun? Where's Ice?
Hello, Claire. Piano.
Bilis naman natapos ng laro. Bobo naman na ito. Sino ba?
definitely see Undying is open. I don't see Undying with Shaker as being the best thing. Not that impactful. One wants to mess with the equilibrium, the other wants to dominate the lane. It's not really what you look for usually.
Probably always pick for a little bit lower in the drop. See Kunga, it's going to be mid, even if it's Kunga playing DP mid, and we'll probably be fine with those matchups. So, yeah, PSG try and hold and get a little bit more information before they lock in their cap.
I like both of them that we call really Raven Rock. You get to turn into the Ember, you can mess up with the layers of Visage.
If you really want,
you can take the Tombstone, obviously. The chains are good.
They're holding up those flex as much as possible now.
Yeah, they're keeping this flex open. But like we mentioned, the certain lanes, right? The DP gets to 9, they'll negate that lane, you then have the Edge. Just super powerful lane. Earthshaker's a hero that kind of plays on the fringe of the lane, grabbing quick wave and stuff. Edge, right? Gonna bully you and following that if needed, or even just pushing out flamer.
You basically got two supports, 1, 4, and 5, Mimic and Enchantress that do not care about Undying whatsoever. These are the ones that are strength plays that can poke from distance.
Enchantress.
PSG gonna lock the perks for back.
Luna yung nakaban sa ka-SF sa side ng Boom. Tatakpan ko kasi. You want water? So, ah. Jace. Iwan mo na dito, baka mabasag ko.
They have options.
Exactly.
Perhaps open it.
Wala kang pasok bukas, no?
Shaker, there's Ember Spirit.
Ice.
I wouldn't mind a little bit more burst.
Ice, talaga dali, Ice.
Just because this Enchantress is really exposed throughout the game, and they don't have the spells, I think, right now to get rid of her. Yeah, I mean, Ember could maybe buy it, but you also all with Frozen into Maelstrom usually. I'm just considering all the things, like Earthshaker's ability to rotate on mid, they don't have any movement, mid heroes like Pop or whatever, or Puck, so they can like trap them on mid, but Kunkka and DP are both so tanky, I'm not sure how effective that will be. I would still like to see him rotate to help secure runes for Ember and give him the ability to play on the map with gang.
One option as well for PSG is going for a weird advantage like Luna. Luna with the Dying is a very strong lane and maybe offset DP strength. Oh, sorry, I didn't say it second. But
good idea. They just saw it a second earlier.
Yeah, like a minute earlier.
I've loved Luna. People have been abusing the night vision on her really hard. It's like so rough when you're in a jungle and they see you first just because of Luna. Especially when you're like breaking smoke on each other at night.
Speaking of vision, I have a feeling that Boom might struggle in that department. You're playing versus Visage with Birds, you're playing versus Undying with Tombstone, Ember that can zip in and out of fights. It won't be that easy to just set up and take out Tombstone on those cliffs.
Yeah, no one really hits it. Like Lena is usually the things you look at for that. Maybe if they want to. I mean, you could always put the Kunkka on a carry, right? And throw some Lena mid, or even Lena carry. That was something that started being a trend at the beginning of TR.
That's something that's playing. They're the ones that plan it out because they're thinking,
yeah, they're scared they're just going to block it, and now they're playing into it. They're just starting timing. Lena for a drow. It's all about the lane. You see the rise of drow.
Is PL too wild versus an Ember versus a Shaker?
No, yeah, no. PL's always a weird hero because you just need enough time, but because Boom has built this like really well solid lineup, you can go for these greedy heroes. I guess the only caveat to that would be Vince would have a free lane, Ember should do well mid, those two cores playing well with Drow, naturally farming with DP.
So there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Exactly, yeah. Too many variables that are sporty.
A lot of people have just been going against this Drow with just more range. Sniper.
Like sniper.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Actually did.
He's got his
I'm not going to say it, but
He did, yeah.
I can see that there's a potential.
The only problem perhaps would be the Ember that can get on top of you
That's
easily.
terrifying, yeah. And like Earthshaker as well, being able to block you off early before you get your shot. They have a lot of ways to collapse on them really quickly. I mean, there's...
One thing that Boom is really lacking is stuns. Like, look at them. If you're hoping that pushback is going to be the best thing that you've got,
What do you think about Fizz's board then? If we look at carries with stuns, usually it's like him and Wraith King.
My concern is just more
Ayaw pa ng
Again,
puso.
Fizz's predictability to do damage. If you get Visage, he can be too tanky. There's Soul Rips. It's a lack of damage, but it's an insurance policy. But
Gusto ko lang bumitaw. Sino PH representative? Raymond. Ayan, boom. Actually, hindi naman sila PH eh. Pero, tatlo yung Pinoy.
Interesting. This is, yeah, definitely, I feel
Bloodseeker.
quite stressful. I will say, for Boom Esports, what they, I think, have to do against the draft. At least, you know, all of your guys, the experts, what's your opinion?
It's definitely a complete comfort zone for SCA teams. Getting this Bloodseeker as last pick, it's good versus Drow. You have that rupture to prevent her from running around. You can't get on top of her if she can't move, right? But overall, I feel that PSG LGD's draft, once again, is just much simpler to execute.
Yeah. Got over again with Blizzard. I think the fact that Drow now deal with the death profit lane, you've got Visage, we should just have a decent time top. And I think the main thing in this game, we spoke about off lanes in game 1, sound of the mid lanes. Kunkka beat Ember. Can Ember get the runes to get the rotation?
Yung LGD na nagbibi.
Kunkka in position to counterplay. Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Huwag naman, Sean!
Yes, this could be the last match.
Game 3.
Esports. PSG all looking primed to go through. And let's have a post-draft interview with Slacks, who's going to be talking to Xiao.
Thank you so much. I am here with Xiao Wei, the brightest mind in Dota and Dota's best hygienist, and of course I want to translate here. Okay, Drow Visage. Even I
Drow.
have to know that's a good combo. Nothing crazier than that. I thought you were a Dota 2 genius. You're just going back to basics?
你报道作为 DOTA 的最强大脑之一，死灵龙和小黑这个绝配，连他都能想到，你觉得很厉害吗？
我就是在后台听说他聊到了就想到。
Well, I heard in backstage that you talked about it. That's why I picked it.
My bad. Okay, and
Gano'n?
are you ready for the terrifying Boom Bloodseeker? I mean, this guy's taking a lot of lives here. Were you expecting this?
你做好准备了对战 Boom 的绝活之一，他们的血魔了吗？他们很恐怖。
Mahina ba o siya? Wait lang.
We already thought about it, so I believe that we will win.
That's what I like to hear. All right, a lot of confidence, a lot of power coming out. Thank you so much.
Total number of teleport cancelled. Standby.
Thank you so much,
feature
Flex. We do
kasi.
get into game number 2 here
Player with
between Boom
highest
Esports
network
and
appeal.
PSG
And
LGD. John, I've got to admit, PSG LGD game 1 they made it look way too easy.
Player with the
You
highest
look at these
network
drafts,
by
do you
10
think it might be a
minutes.
bit of a closer matchup here in game 2?
I still feel like LGD does have a really strong draft on hand, but Boom, they've fallen into a couple of comfort picks. You know, you're back to the FBZ Death Prophet that we saw him play throughout the entire season, from December onwards, and he's always had a great time with that. And of course, Yopaj on his Kunkka. He had to deal with Nothing to Say's Kunkka, but he's a Kunkka specialist himself. And now Nothing to Say is going to have to try to deal with that on his Ember. And that matchup's going to be a little bit more back and forth. So I think Boom does have a little bit more play, but and just considering how easy it is to execute LGD's draft, I mean, it's Drow Visage. If they manage to get a running start, I wouldn't be surprised if they just dominate this game once more, if things go the same way as game 1.
Yeah, it's certainly a very scary draft here from LGD to try and go up against them. It's like you mentioned, John, like the tempo. To keep up with it, Boom fall behind in this laning stage in this game number 2. We'll see if they can keep up. At least in the second game, of course. Everyone wants a third game to happen, John. We'll see if they can make it happen.
Ayan, okay na ba, Raymond? Ace
We'll start
na.
with the mid lane, of course. You're going to have Nothing to Say there against Yopaj. On the Kunkka vs Ember, you kind of talked about the fact that these heroes are both specialties of the enemy hero in the mid lane, but who should have the inherent advantage between these two?
This does feel a little bit better for the Kunkka. I mean, you always have the
Gano'n
time to
kalaki?
play, but you're not really mana constrained. Whereas the Ember is going to have to juggle around.
Nakita ko, hindi lang dami, no? Ang dami
Bottle down the
nila.
line, try to secure the water runes to keep that harassment up. Yopaj can just kind of dance back, toss around with the
Class A
Tiber,
yun
and get some good rotations out this time with the supports they have on hand. Especially if Skem gets room to kind of swing out with a really nice creep here.
You should block their top lane. Fade Beyond trying to get that creeping rear room going his way. Off the back of Syncue. Of course, Skem and Jack are going to be right against them. And should be a decent enough lane here for Jackie, but levels do get up. You have to be a little bit worried about the amount of damage Faith Beyond can pump out, especially once he does have that Soul Assumption up. if he does go for it in the end, as I can see Skem ask him quite a bit here on the edge as well. They just end up going for the Gravekeeper's cloak instead, just to remain safe against all this harassment. We'll see what he does end up doing.
Yeah, I like this little move out from Skem. He recognizes that there's no soul assumption. He can comp some damage without being traded back favorably from the side of LGD, and just try to give some space out to Jackie. This lane is still pretty annoying for the Bloodseeker, and just getting slowed up, losing a lot of attack speed on the Bloodseeker does make it a little bit more manageable for Fate Beyond to kind of just work that lane.
What about that bot lane? Tims and FBZ going to be against Arme and Y once again. This seems like a very potent lane here from PSG LGD. Especially once you have a couple levels up in the Frost Arrows in conjunction with the Tombstone from Y, it's just so much damage and so much slow that can be dealt out. Just like if you get caught out of position, there's just no escaping.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Boom to try to be aggressive here. Right? If you can gap close onto Ame, Bushwhack along the Spirit Siphon, you can kind of melt her down, but with Y blocking off the path on the Undying, you don't have too many access points to reach into that back line without copying a lot of the case, without maybe having the Tombstone come out if you overextend. So I think this is just, again, another safe lane coming out for Ame to just build up, and we shouldn't expect too much from FBZ. Maybe by the time he hits, I don't know, 5 threatening into 6 with the Exorcism ready, that's where action can pick up for Boom. Before that, unless Ame really missteps, it's going to be hard to punish that Drow.
Absolutely. No first blood being drawn quite yet. We are seeing a bit of shenanigans here from Skem and Faith VR. Bit of a pull here for Faith to be able to farm securely underneath, or rather behind that tier 1 tower. Though Skem going to be a little bit annoying just hanging around, but actually will pull his own creep wave away, as we do see Sin-Q. Again, Fisher blocking here, just trying to set the creep equilibrium in the favor of LGD. Just wanting to give Faith VR a very easy lane stage to get started as Skem. He chased down a little bit, but they have nothing to really lock him down, and eventually, this creep wave will push into the tier 1 tower. That'll mean it'll push back the other way. Faith Beyond, he might need to be a little bit patient, but eventually the creep wave is going to be his way. Sin-Q does actually find the courier of Jackie.
Yeah, nice little snipe. Jackie knew it was coming. He tried to micro it back, but didn't manage to get far away enough. Sin-Q managed to just snipe it away. It's a nice little take, but Jackie did manage to get his items out, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Trying to top up in this lane is just going to be a little bit tougher. Sin-Q is out of mana. Does have the mangoes ready, but he is getting the pull off, and there's really not too much Skem can do. He doesn't have anything like the Blightstone. Level 1 enchant, not going to really slow down Sin-Q, and Faith Beyond just, again, being allowed to get that EXP, along with a fairly greedy support in the Shaper, right? He does want his own experience flowing in as well. Skem can't really stop that.
Certainly cannot. Go into that Radiant Triangle, just take some creeps away, put a ward down as well. Sin-Q will see him out of there. Is now nothing to say mid lane. Gonna get X'd up here by Yopaj, but no Torrent to come out. Nice Fisher from Sin-Q, not gonna allow the water rune to go back the way of Yopaj. And eventually, well, Tims, he will secure the bottom water rune at the very least. Nothing to say, he is gonna try and show up for that, but Tims will snipe it away from him. So neither mid laner able to find a rune here. So it seems like LGD did adjust, because this is one thing that Boom Esports were doing very effectively in the early stage of last game, is just securing all the runes and making sure Nothing to Say couldn't get one. This time around, LGD, they're going to make sure at least Yopaj can't find his own.
Yeah, and speaking of that mid lane matchup, we talked about how the Kunkka Ember shapes up. Nothing to Say is actually working lane a lot better. 25-7 now on CS, compared to Yopaj, just stuck at 20-4. Good lead here coming out from Nothing to Say. He's managing to even sneak away the bounty rune there. There's a little bit of action across the maps. They try to jump it. They don't really have stuns on Boomsend unless they manage to get a good enchanted feat from Skem, kind of punish Fate Beyond. And so far, this kind of static game, it does feel favorable for LGD. I mean, once they build the levels up, you get the marksmanship up, you get the familiars up, and you have this Ember dancing around you, it's very easy for them to jump in and take these fights and go for objectives if Boom isn't careful.
Absolutely. Bot lane, a bit of aggression happening towards Y, it seems. He does drop rather low on the Undying, but still remains just fine. He has not split up 2 or Soul Rip yet. He's waiting to get that skill point. The right moment to see exactly what he needs. But for now, he's being very, very patient. Doesn't seem like Boom's been too aggressive down to the bot lane either. So, seems like both sides are just very satisfied farming up for now throughout this laning stage. We are yet to see a kill to come out. Not really many rotations happening either, though mid lane, Nothing to Say, gonna get X back into a torrent. A little damage to follow up though. Yopaj gonna force the reset out, Nothing to Say. He can always just remnant back into the mid lane anyway. Meanwhile, bot lane, Y is gonna deny himself off. Nothing to go back the way of Boom. Quick reset for himself. Can always just TP right back to the lane. So the 6-minute power runes now. the spawn up. Is going to be down bottom as Yopaj able to take with the DD. However, for the Hoodwink, that's a nice bushwhack out, nothing to say, dropping rather low. Will Remnant back the other way. However, you've got the enchant there from Scam, controlling up, nothing to say. They might have the damage, but Sin-Q is going to show up with the Fisher. Make sure they can't keep chasing, so instead they've got to go after the Shaker, but it might be first one to go the way of Yopaj. That Y is still around. He did drop the tombstone here, and now Yopaj does get chained up by nothing to say, but there's not going to be much out of this. Just not enough damage. Boom, it seems like they're happy with what they've got.
Forcing attention onto Yopaj. He's been playing around really aggressively with that potential on the 6. Of course, it's hard to lock something in like the Ember. Maybe a bit of a small mistake, didn't manage to really get the X off when he got that initial control on nothing to say before he zipped away. But you still find the big kills, you find that first blood, you're buying space out for Jackie, who has had a very free top lane now. So your Bloodseeker is going to meet that initial item timings you're looking for. The Maelstrom coming out, BKB down the line to Shard once the time is ready. And it's going to be pretty tough to shove Jackie away. You still have concerns about Bobby. He's not too shabby down bot either, and FBC's not able to do as much. But the power spikes are lining up for both sides. Familiar's going to be up for Fate Beyond soon enough. You can just camp that lane up top and keep it shoved out. And FBC can always threaten with the Exorcism once it's ready.
Into the slot, Jackie, but not as much. Meanwhile, mid lane, however, they've got the Ember stunned up, but nothing to say. Got the Remnant out in time. They can't really follow up on the Ember Spirit for now. Bushwhack, though, is going to land from Tim's. Yopaj going to show up once again, forcing the Remnants forward. However, they've even got the edge there. A nice little juke away from them to say, but they've got the X back with the bow, and they will find the Ember. Now, that's a much bigger kill coming up from Boom, and a much better start from Boom Esports.
Yeah, the aggression's lining up. We saw it in game 1. Tims and Scam were rotating in, but they weren't finding kills. This time around, they're able to play off the setup Yopaj had and dance around it. Sin-Q trying to block off this push. Not the fastest coming out from Boom, especially without FBZ around to kind of speed that up with the EXO. But they are chipping away slowly, forcing out responses.
Still a fair bit of damage thanks to the enchant of Scam, as they are going to try and at least chase down the Hoodwinks. Tim still finds the Bushwhack back onto nothing to say as he does run towards the south. Might actually make it up, but no. He does go down. Scam, he's in danger himself, but the heals are out as FBZ is going to rotate on the DP. Make sure they can't go for too much more. Seems like they are looking for the tombstone, but it may just be too late in the end. Just eventually expire. So 1-3 now, 2k advantage the way of Boom. Still anyone's game really at this early stage. Seems like a very nice start compared to the last game, though, at least for this Dire side.
We're finding a little bit more. These small wins are starting to rack up a little bit. Jackie's had all the space in the world to keep farming. Does have a rupture up, but he's getting surrounded here.
Fish is there. Jackie, can he find his way out of this one? They've got the familiars to back him up. Jackie's still running. Doesn't seem like he's taking too much damage. In fact, now the rupture is there. Sin-Q gonna try and get his way out, but it's not gonna work. The torrent is there. Familiars, they will stun a little bit, but Sin-Q understands he cannot get away. So Yopaj, he'll take his 3rd kill of the game on the Kunkka.
Just so much activity coming out from Yopaj, and instantly coming out here as well from FBZ. Trying to take that bot tier 1 tower. The push threat is online for Boom. And LGD, we haven't really seen them group up yet with the threat of the Familiars. Again, you kind of want to just camp a lane, keep that farm up, slow down the core. They're not able to threaten in the same way Boom is right now.
Certainly not. FBZ able to secure that bottom T1. All 3 cores of Boom now topped on their workboard. This is basically a mirror switch of what happened in game 1, at least for now. LGD, they might still be confident in their own timing with this Visage kind of draft. Might just take it easy, get their farm going, just trying to avoid the side of Boom. But Boom for now, they want to fight. You can see it as Yopaj trying for a bit of a chase onto nothing to say. Won't end up going for the X up yet. In fact, now he's the one on the run. There might be somebody to cut him off soon, but no, it's only Y on the Undying. No way for him to really lock down the Kunkka. They're just trying to take these stacks away before they are forced to leave this Dire jungle.
They take a creep off from Yopaj. Not the biggest loss in the world here for Boom. They did manage to find the tier 1 tower trade eventually from LGD's end, clearing out top. That does give them some good forward control here. There are defensive wards out from Boom to check if anyone is sneaking around the top jungle. They've switched Jackie around anyway to play into the triangle. So the build-up is still there. Still a rather even game, 1-4, 3k lead for Boom, slight advantage for them. On LGD, it feels like we haven't seen them play with their own strengths yet. You know, they're just taking their time, they're building up, they're not losing too much off the map. So things don't feel too bad for LGD at the moment, despite being a little bit behind.
Yeah, still plenty of map control available on their own things. Sin-Q, bit of de-warding out. Very nice, just securing that Radiant jungle. Was nothing to say. He had a bit of a slower start, working towards the Eul Scepter now, so a bit more of a defensive build for himself. Be able to purge off all these spells that are flying out from Boomers. You are going to have the fish around onto FBZ, but it's not going to lead to too much. They will spread out Jackie on the Bloodseeker. This is going to be very confident to stick around here, though. There's Boom. The smoke up, but there's a counter smoke coming from LGD. Which one finds which first? Yopaj. He's make his way down south. Why? SinQ trying to hide right now. Just don't give the opening away. SinQ having a very tough time already. Always getting caught out here by Yopaj. Oh, nothing to say. He's a much bigger target. They are going to land the X onto the Ember. This could be a fantastic start if they can find him, but they won't. The turret will be off the mark and the Fissure will be there, so nothing to say. A very nice juke out. We'll be able to TP back towards the base.
Yeah, really great juke. Dodges out with a sleight of fist. The silence would have been on point, and that could have set up for the side of Boom to find that kill. Nothing to say. Quick fingers, though, does bail out in the nick of time. Boom, not going to find too much further trouble. They do invade the bot jungle, and they're buying space out for Jackie to keep his farm game up. Maelstrom already on the way out. Same could be said for LGD. Full Vlad's already up in Faith Beyond. Not too far away from the Wraith Pact from this point. And once that's up, all that damage mitigation, all that durability of the Visage up front, it's going to make these fights feel pretty awkward for Boom if they're not careful. If they can't manage to maybe isolate the Visage or just take it out of the equation early on.
That's very rough against this hero, right? Like, just so tanky with the Gravekeeper's Cloak, and like you mentioned, the Wraith Pact to come out makes it even tougher here to deal with Faith Beyond. One of his specialty heroes as well. We used to watch him years and years ago playing this hero, and see now it's back in meta. That Visage, he's very, very scared to have to try and play against. Damage being dealt up to the Scam top lane. So nothing to say, just kind of poking and prodding at the edge. Scam going to be just fine to stick around though. Has his own way of healing himself. The Seeds of Serenity, I believe it is. And just fine to stick around. Nothing to say, still trying to poke and prod, but it seems like the edge just going to keep kind of sticking around that top lane. Both sides just very comfortable with farming at the moment. Nobody's rushing for a fight. They're both trying to hit their own timings throughout this mid game. They'll just sit back, relax. You kind of wonder who this favors, right? Because you did have a pretty decent lead for Boom, and they still hold on to that lead, but is there a timing they're looking to kind of hit? Because you can kind of tell LGD are trying to hit their own timing throughout that mid game with this Visage.
I think you're okay on Boom. You're just working towards those initial BKBs. Yopaj, very close to his. It's still lacking the recipe gold, but it's going to come out eventually. FBZ, only lacking the recipe. So once you have at least 2 of these BKBs ready to go, you're going to be able to group up, try to look for those fights, try to find those objectives, and then you really start to hurt LGD's farm. For now, if this drags on, say, past the 20-minute mark in the staticness, LGD starts to feel really good. They're going to have their own BKBs. They're going to have their own level spikes. Maybe even down the line, the blink out from SinQ starts to pop up. And you just have issues in these team fights. It's already really hard to lock in, nothing to say. You're going to have to clump up for it. And once you're clumped up, SinQ and Faith Beyond are going to get to town.
See another smoke out. Boom, they'll head down towards the south, through the mid lane. Who are they going to find? Faith Beyond on that Visage, showing up. Those Familiars, there'll be an X out. This could be a big pickoff, but the Familiar stuns are going to be there. Still, the X is going to make it in time for the boat to land. They'll find Faith Beyond. The Familiars may not be so lucky either, as they will at least find one of them. And now they are into that mid-tier 1 tower with the Exorcism. Not going to be too hard for them to take them down. In fact, they found SinQ now on the Earthshaker. They'll find a second. Tim's just sniping from a mile away with that sharpshooter, slowing him down. And well, that'll be the mid-tier 1 tower gone.
And that's the timing you were talking about. Not quite the BKBs coming out, but
why?
Find more.
Trying to protect that Radiant Triangle. It's a lot of damage coming out from Arme, but not quite enough to finish off the job as Yopaj able to find his 4th kill of the game. Trains will not land on any. FBZ going to try for the TP up. The Familiars will be there just in the nick of time. They will find at least something for their trouble.
They get the big target out from LGD's end. It comes at heavy cost. And those kills, the tower take from Boom still feel a lot better for them to play off. And now the map shrinks a little bit more for LGD. They still have time to build up. And you are still getting some decent build up here on Ame. He's allowed to just play in that triangle. No contention coming out from Boom in that area outside of that one invasion. And they're just praying and hoping that eventually the Drow and the Ember are just going to be really hard to handle. For Boom, though, again, the BKBs are still on their way. That spell immunity is going to be a really big factor in the middle of these fights. The full Wraith Pact is up on Faith Beyond. But again, if he does manage to use that item in time, Boom might have to spend more time trying to find that kill and give enough leeway for LGD to respond.
Q gets spotted out here. Scam will move in. Yopaj, she'll be there with the backup. X into the turret, will connect it. Seems like Q just has no way out of this one. They will lock him down with the bushback and take him out once again. That'll be the 5th kill for the Kunkka. Yopaj off to a fantastic start, 16 minutes in. They top lane, they might have a look at Nothing to Say. Can they land the silence though with the bushwhack? It seems like they will be able to find the bushwhack because FBZ, the sharpshooter, is going to be up at the Ember. Has the Yule Scepter, will go for the remnant towards the left side and it looks like he's going to be just fine. He does have the stick charges. They don't have the burst damage for Nothing to Say.
He needed the +1 to try to find that kill. Valiant effort, not quite what they want, but it does shove Nothing to Say away, giving him more space again elsewhere to keep that farm game up. And Jackie is still getting his own build up, his own BKB is almost done. So it possibly could be just a triple BKB timing for Boom, where LGD, they're not going to have that same level of protection. Outside of the Ewelts coming out here on Nothing to Say, they're going to be very vulnerable to the damage here.
Oh, nice chains out from Nothing to Say. Fisher will be there to follow up. The Tombstone has been dropped as well. This is going to be a fair bit of damage as the cast will land on both. Yopaj, he does a BKB up. He'll pop it immediately, but it seems like they just want to at least take this Tombstone down to get this team fight started. It will get denied off. Multi-shot there from Arme. It's a lot of damage for Yopaj. He'll keep forward, keep moving forward. At least the Sing Q does go for a Fisher, but he's trapped in the tree line right now. The bow will fly in. The sharpshooter's there. They'll find at least one as Tims. We'll look for a bit more now, but Nothing to Say he's just fine. He's going to be able to back his way out. They'll only find the Shaker. Still 2-9, 6k advantage. This whole time, Jackie is free farming. Mid lane, in they go again. They found Yopaj another time. This time Arme, he's got so much damage, and they will be able to find that mid Kunkka. There's nothing to say. He wants a little bit more. He'll move in with the silence is out from FBZ. Yules is out there to lock down FBZs. They should have the slows as well, but FBZ, he'll BKB up. He'll be just fine to back his own way away. They cannot lock him down through the BKB. They do find a decent kill in the Kunkka, but that's going to be about it for LGD.
I think you're pretty happy for LGD though. You force out those initial BKB uses, you only really lose your support, and you're starting to get some activity out from Ami. He's more than willing to join into these fights.
Ayan na sila.
Cautious about going in like that. You can't afford to just fully commit onto supports. You need bigger targets to kill off. Once those BKBs fade, LGD can just kind of dance around, and once they shrink in duration, these fights become a lot harder for Woon to kind of find their openings for.
Fisher is there. FBZ does get locked down. Looks like LGD are ready to try and push forward here against Boom, but unable to really find the lockdown they're looking for. LGD will retreat, look for a better moment for themselves. Yopaj hanging around, but he might be a bit too much of a tanky target to try and go on. LGD still hanging around on the low ground, but doesn't seem like they're going to try and make their way up to the high ground for them. Meanwhile, again, I think the main kind of focus you have to have on here is Jackie on that Bloodseeker. He's 10k net worth right now. He's just absolutely huge. And Arme, he's not too far behind, but Jackie just seems like he's getting away with it a little bit too much. They will see Nothing to Say. No way to lock down the Ember, so we'll just kind of ignore him and go for the creep wave. Letting Jackie farm like this, always a scary affair.
Yeah, he just knows how to work the map really well. Very efficient as a carry. Has been for a long time, since his time on Motivate Trust. Speaking of Motivate Trust, I believe his former teammates here, Mr. Fearless, all the way from Thailand. Lots of people watching, of course. Working onto the Basher here for Jack. So, gonna try to get some control going his way. Again, with all the room he has, that Basher time is gonna be pretty good. Yopaj though?
Beyond, he'll lose it to Milia. X is there on Nothing to Say, but he's going to run it out a little bit too early, so the X-Pack is there. Won't matter though, the follow-up is not going to be up from Boom. Be a smoke out though, Boom. They can find with this. Wrap around through that dire jungle. It's like LGD, they have smoked themselves as well. Both sides, looking for that opportunity. It's a bit harder for Boom to try and make the way through the Radiant Triangle, just not having the vision, but LGD might be waiting. Arme, he's a huge target. The X is there. They have a way to drag him back, but the torrent's not going to land in time. Oh, they mistime it. Why? He moved in to try and defend Arme and has done so. Meanwhile, Jackie gets caught out. He does pop his BKB in the stick charges. He'll barely survive. Meanwhile, FBZ in the middle of nowhere is forced to pop his own BKB and make his own retreat. Fisher, though, gonna lock a couple down into the follow-up. Tim's trying to run. More stick charges. Yopaj, he'll finally throw the boat out, but the chains are there to lock him down with the familiars. Yopaj, which way is he going? He wants a Roshan tonight, but he's not gonna find it. Faith Beyond will be able to take the killers. Now nothing to say. He'll find another. It's gonna be Scam on the edge. The Fisher will be enough to just keep him down and take him out. That's 2 down for the side of Boom Esports. LGD really fighting bravely and pushing back here against the Dire.
It boiled down to just small mistakes, not being able to kill off Ame. He did have the force staff to save, so that did complicate
So,
that.
yung dating ng force staff ni Ame.
Having that way of just dodging out from control from Boom. And those are massive losses. Like, even Scam dying there, he had a gem. Free gem coming out for LGD. They just melt the Roshan. You're starting to see that power of the Drow and the Visage. They just do so much work when they're grouped up together. And Boom, they've got to be a little bit more careful. They miss out on the torrent, as we see in the replay, and it just kind of falls apart from there.
It certainly does. They just retreat in time, like Jackie getting caught out, barely surviving through that. The Echo Slam proving not to be enough damage here from SyncQ, and even FBZ forced to pop his own BKB. LGD doing a fantastic job of just kiting this team fight out perfectly, and of course the reinitiation there from SyncQ. Exactly what kind of allowed them to punish Yopaj, who had no choice but to try and go for the deny with the Roshan, but just ended up working out in his favor. Just unable to get the attack animation off with the slows from Faith Beyond.
For Boom, I mean, it's just getting a little bit difficult. LGD, with the Aegis up, can take a little bit more risk in these fights. They could look to just take more objectives. The mid-tier one still standing could be the nice, juicy one to start to force into Boom's jungle and just shrink the map even more. Like, they are still getting built up everywhere else. Yopaj, with the plate mail, can feel a lot more durable up front, but again, it just boils back to burst damage. If Fate Beyond puts his body forward with a raid packed up, he is such a huge nuisance that you do have to notice. You can't just ignore the Visage in these fights, but they also can't handle him. And they have to execute here on Boom. It just feels like, again, we're seeing that difference in execution here, Mike, where LGD, it's a very well-oiled machine, and Boom, sometimes, every now and again, there's a little bit of jankiness in that movement out.
It certainly is. LGD grouped up top lane, maybe going for a bit of a push in that tier 2 tower. They've hit a very nice timing now. With the security of the Aegis for Ame, feel very safe moving into this tower, but there is going to be a smoke up from Boom. They want to try and defend this. Up through the mid-river, there'll be a double damage available on Yopaj. That could be the attack buff they kind of need here to take the fight on with LGD.
Your admiral is on board.
See if they can find SyncQ on the back first. Because Fate's Beyond going to be there as well, but they're all on the tree line. SyncQ pings around, but a nice Fisher. SyncQ locking down a couple again into the Echo. FBZ, he will get the BKB off in time. They're still trying to force the fight, but is this the one they really wanted? The vote is out. Yopaj, he's already retreating. He can't find the target he really needed to go after. And now FBZ, another nice Fisher, locked them down, take him out. Scam, he'll get used up. He's not making it out either. Now LGD, it just seems like they knew they were coming. They had just the security vision. Stayed in the tree line. Just surprise them and just don't show anyone.
SyncQ just in the perfect spot to break that smoke, and Boom overcommit. They feel the pressure to try to make these plays. They don't manage to land on targets they want, and SyncQ's just been a nuisance with these Fishers throughout all these fights, just finding the perfect angles to cut off Boom.
He has SyncQ a real nuisance. Yopaj, you saw he trying to find Ame this whole time, but just unable to get him. It's the ward placement here from LGD, just fully prepped for that fight. Actually, at least Scam will be the second pick up here.
Oh my god, what's that? Bakit parang organize yung...
Still a 2k net worth lead available for Boom, but it's really nothing to write home about. We're 25 minutes into the game. It's a very even one between these two teams. Still could go either way, but it's all about these team fights. It's all about the next Roshans. Speaking of Roshans, Aegis is still available for Ame, so you just never really had the risk of losing it this whole time. You kind of wonder, what does Boom do now? Like, do you want to slow down the game? Do you keep trying to find LGD? Like, what's the idea?
Step lively now.
You need to at least maintain equilibrium here. Don't lose ground up against LGD. They've lost their gold lead entirely. You've got some protection coming out now for Ame, Lincoln Sphere up. So you can't just try to expert back. And that just makes things so much more difficult. It feels like this game is starting to boil down to Tim's getting a good bushwhack off. Easier said than done. And the Drow sitting so far away. They could try to mount defense for the tier 1, but it's pretty late in the game to kind of keep that alive.
Chains around, that's a big target. Yopaj once again forced to BKB early just to run his way up, but they'll still lose the mid-tier 1 tower. A double damage rune also being spotted out. The Skem might be able to deny it off and does. He'll get away with it, not allowing nothing to pick that one up for himself. These LGD, they'll take over that dire triangle. Strong position, deny more farms away from Jackie. I just try and head over to the other side of the map. It just doesn't feel like they're ready to actually fight yet.
They've got so much to play with now on LGD. It just feels like when you've got these heroes that can constantly run in and slowly poke and prod. Woody Ember, you've got the mobility coming out now on Sinju. He's got the full blink up with a slam ready to go. And he's been a menace without that blink. With that blink up, it's just going to be so much more difficult for Boom to get anything done. But LGD in a really good spot right now. 7 to 10, slightly behind in kills, not fully back in that work, but they've evened that deficit out. And they're the ones with the initiative. They're the ones working the map well. They're the ones forcing these issues onto Boom.
Spotted, why? He'll move with the Glimmer King. Jackie seems to know they're right behind him. A nice fish wrap from ZQ, and Jackie's been locked down. Oh, it's a massive kill out for LGD. Stems also being chased down. They won't mind losing the Hoodwink. They got the +1 Bond Seeker.
Massive win for LGD. Jackie just trying to farm where he can. LGD understanding that where they have to be. They have got good wards watching that top jungle. They just came from the triangle, so they knew the only spot Jackie would have to be in is in that triangle on the Radiant side. And the punishment is severe. LGD, the damage output coming out from Ame just with the Hurricane Pike and the Lincoln Spirits. More than enough, no one's there to gap close. And that marksmanship order is always going to be active.
Very tough. Just haven't seen any kind of risk for Ame at all. He's always just been in the perfect position every single time. Just unable to catch him out. He continues that farm now, top of the net worth board on the Drow. Nothing to slow him down. GD, that well-oiled machine you talked about, well and truly running now. They're the ones that need to try and find an answer for this game number 2. Yeah, you kind of wonder what they do here though. They're just playing a little bit defensively, but it just feels like they've lost all the lead they had. And with the time that LGD's hit, they can just take their time with this one. There's just no rush for game 2.
Just build up, keep getting that farm you want onto your Drow. I think the one thing Boom could try to do, a little bit cheeky, go for the shard on Yopaj ASAP. Get the tidal wave, pull back the Drow. That could be one way for you to get Ame out of position. Easier said than done, but it feels like you need that disruptiveness in these fights. The Axe shard, maybe even the Axe down the line, because you're not seeing any big BKBs here.
Jump in, he has found Tims of the Hoodwink. 4 staff away, may not be enough.
They've
got double. Tims looking just fine, and the zombie will chase him down, but it won't be enough to pursue any further. LGD is still very careful themselves. They're not overextending, they're not giving any openings over to Boom. Want to fight here by that tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Now Jackie, walking up towards his Eye of Skadi, has a Blink Dagger up as well. Yopaj will try to rotate to defend the bot lane, and does do so, but can't find the familiars. 8 to 10, still a 2k advantage the way of LGD. Still a very close match, but I just feel like Boom are the ones that need to find an answer, as they might smoke up, and they do. Smoke on smoke situation. Across the other side of the map, the only thing they really see right now are the familiars. Because FBZ, he'll just try to secure those instead, and he gets one of them, might find a second, but they are going to be spawned back up by Faith Beyond.
Really awkward position for both sides. Roche still a ways off, so if you lose this next fight, you might have the opportunity to fight back over
CQ. Very aggressive play, will get X'd up back to the turret and the boat. They might find the Shaker, and they will. Get something. Nothing to say. Shows the mid lane will creep skip. Backs towards his team once again. Both sides just waiting for the next Roshan. Still a couple minutes away though. Seems like Boom will try to infiltrate their jungle once again. Some D-wards off all they can. FBZ will look for the outpost. LGD, they are grouped up, ready to go whenever. Seems like they are not going to make the jump in. Not yet, at least. Yeah, Roshan still a bit away, though. Nothing more to FBZ. Just fine there. Just a bit of chip damage coming out from Nothing to Say.
We're working to this point where they might get this blink up on Tim's. So you're going to have a little bit more of an easier time for Quick to try to line up those hits with a bushwhack, get that much needed control in the middle of these fights. Again, it does feel like a lot of it starts to boil down onto Tim's trying to surprise him. The X is just a little bit too telegraphed. We've got the BKB up and running as well for Ame, so much easier for him to dodge out and be in the middle of these engagements as well.
Chains around onto the edge. Again, just fine to back his way out. No problems here. Shot now 1 minute away. LGD, they're the ones that are really keeping tabs with these familiars, but you at least have the skeletons coming in from Skemp as well. They go for a smoke. We've got a 5-on-5 situation here in the mid lane. Who gets up in the initiation first? The Fisher is there, but the BKB is around in time. The Tombstone is being focused. Both sides not really sure if they want the fight. Skemp is
nagwala na si Nabitusay.
but the boat is out in time. 4 staff away. They need to save
Ayan na.
the Kunkka.
Ayan na talaga. Be, yung Kunkka, be. Be. Naku po, ang sakit na ni Ame. Sakto. May baby.
Name just standing right behind him. It's like, how do you actually get
Lalabas pa yung Roshan. 6, 5, 4. Ayaw na!
Have a high mobility initiator that can dance.
Ayun na, lumabas na.
Nothing to say. To try to catch the back line, to try to stop Ame from dishing a million damage to engage. And off the back of that, with a double
Magpapaalam naman tayo sa boom.
last two
Oh, halungkot.
They had a great start. It just gets harder from here, it feels like. Even with all the durability
Walang
of
yan.
the AC, if no one can touch
Grabe to si Tero.
all the armor in the world doesn't matter.
Yeah. GD once again now a 6k advantage. You'll see the replay, and there was a nice initiation, at least from CQ, forcing out 3 BKBs with that one Fisher. They just retreat immediately after seeing those BKBs. Just no hesitation from LGD. They understand they just need to wait those out, move back in, and then just get right to work. Like, you can try to run, but there's just so much slow available here as they are even going for tier 3 towers now. LGD, they understand the lead they have. Boom, again, they just haven't found the opening throughout this game. They will try to slow it down, but the tier 3 tower's already gone.
Tignan mo sa mga policemen.
Shot there from Ame, just getting at Yopaj will hold down the Kunkka as they push back in. They find nothing to say, but he's got the Eul Scepter. Torrent is going to
Cut video okay, wala na yung extension.
but it's not going to be it.
Uy, muntik na puta! Grabe naman si Nothing to say. Hindi lalabas yan. Labas mo si Mabis?
Locking them down once again, just not letting them get out. Oh boy, 3 down for the side of Boom. This is looking real bad now. LGD, they will go for the tier 4 towers. How do you stop them?
It's difficult. Maybe you get a good tidal wave back. We saw Yopaj try to make that play, but man, it's so much easier to do what LGD is doing. Just keep pushing in, play with the damage you have on hand. 4 to 5 forest out. Tier 4, about to fall, 16 HP left. LGD so confident, they still have ages. There's nothing to be scared of.
Absolutely not. The T4 towers once again, Skemp trying to set up. He did buy back, but it's just waiting for a few more respawns. The T4s are dropping so darn low. They're onto the Ancient now, Boom. Still waiting for the respawns, but they're not coming in time. They've got to try and rush for this, but the Ancient is just completely going down. CQ is holding everyone back. They finally make it, but it's too late. It is just too late. LGD. I can't sugarcoat it, John. They made this series look easy. 2-0 the way of LGD. What can I say? Boom Esports, they tried their best, but just weren't the better team today.
With such the journey out from Boom, of course, a 1.4% chance to even come in to that lower bracket that they beat Team Spirit in, and now having to face a lot. The big favorite for a lot of people to win TI itself, or at least make it to the grand finals. They put up a fight, LGD, they come back so strong. We're seeing that strength that might have been a little bit more up and down in groups that might not have shown in the early days of the playoffs.
Yeah.
LGD, they look to be back in fine form.
Such a calm team, such a coordinated team is stay very composed, no emotions here from LGD. It's just another day for them, another 2-0 victory, and just look towards the next days. was for Boom. A pretty tough loss, John. A lot of these players on Boom, first TI for them, and they do have to leave through the lower bracket round of 2, but it happens.
And again, just their journey to TI was a bit of a rocky one. Everyone had high expectations coming into the majors, coming into all the other tournaments. They do pretty good here, I think. They've improved a lot. Just a lot more
Mas dito is
With
extra
what
guys.
Powell has to say about this game too is we are going to throw back to them.
Thank you very much.
Nakatama, ha?
I'll be John Foxfire, and congratulations to PSG LGD. They really got some wind in themselves in the series and will continue their run in the lower bracket. But of course, that means the Boom Esports, the last SEA.
So nakakalungkot.
The Boom Esports, the last SEA.
So nakakalungkot.
The Boom Esports, the last SEA.
So naka... Ano? Sino? Wala eh. Tapos na. Basta yan na gamitin mo. Ano, gamitin mo. Wala na. Tayong ano.
Ay, nakakulog. Hi. Purple na nga lang ako. Turbo muna akong isa mga bino.
Wala na. Sino na naiiwan? Secret. Secret.
Bang something. 5 seconds remain. Seconds remain. 5 seconds.
Nakakalungkot. Tundra nandyan pa. Pag sniper ka lane mo, ano patas mo? Poison. Kay Kyok.
Use it wisely.
Nasaan yung ganyan? Poison to, men.
30 seconds to battle. As pressure. The storm remain true.
This way walks pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Dota match.
As I
Spell.
Oh, yes.
Gago, Rasta pala to, be.
For the royal coffers. Shouldn't there be more kneeling? Sometimes you just need to stretch your wings.
Okay, ito first item boat. Look.
Shall we begin?
Ito parang ito walang
I'm under attack. You move. Your queen moves.
Ano ko? Dito pa sa naman. Putang ina mo lang yung mga.
I do enjoy a good stroll. Into the bottle.
Your
Divine gave you all. You've just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
I'll take my time.
Got it.
Oh, yes. Quickly now.
Midnight pa bro.
Your queen moves. For you. A royal path. Here. Where does the tiger bottle royale?
Middle tower is defending
Gago.
Worthy tribute. A path to pain. Pain builds character.
Look to your top tower.
Watch me now.
Seem to skirmish. The radiant glyph is now active. The enemy attacks your top tower.
I'll take my time.
Look to your top tower.
I'll lay there weary.
Paano oras na nagising? Anong oras nagising mo? Diba?
By means mundane.
Your top tower is under attack.
Puta ka na mo.
I do enjoy a good stroll. An inner attack, style and grace. Don't you just love forward? You move. Have wit will travel.
Putang ina mo.
Shade finger of death leaves much to be desired. Into the bottle. The pain train.
Gago! Nasilence ako din! Lahat pala.
Just blink.
Your middle tower.
Oh, yes.
Hello JN, para kay tayo lumaban sa Burnout para manalo sa TI. Ay, thank you Burnout. Sorry ngayon ko lang nakita. Wala, ganun talaga ang buhay. Hindi pa nila time.
Watch me now. Your queen moves.
The enemy attacks your bottom tower.
Will they get a load of
Killing spree.
have wit will travel? I could just blink. My hands are dying. I'm under attack.
Is under attack.
Don't you just love war? Oh, yes. Where does the time go?
Killing spree. Double kill.
Here, here.
Invisibility.
You move. My crown. As I
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
a royal path.
To your bottom tower.
Boots of travel.
As the tower stood against the rising tide. Faces a terrible test. The enemy attacks your middle tower.
Ecstasy quickly now. Forward.
What? This is game over. Thanks for playing. Killing spree. Double kill. Double kill.
The enemy's top tower dropped to middle tower is under attack. The enemy attacks your bottom tower. Middle tower has been denied. Bottom tower denied. The opponent's game is face.
I do enjoy a good story. Kaya and Sarge. Where does the time go? Well, they're getting load of me. Watch me. A royal path. I could just blink. Your queen
They're unstoppable.
Siete, 8, 29! Putang ina! Talaga ako.
Double kill.
Hindi ako nakapag-wave!
This is where my reign.
Ano itong rastang to yung nandiligil ako dito?
Killing spree.
Faces terrible test.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Your queen. A royal path. Your pain. Watch me.
Double kill.
Tower faces a terrible test. That which protects also requires protection.
Best feelings in the world. This way walks pain. I'm ready.
Monster kill.
Does the time go? You thought I was dead.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm not ready.
Putang ina mo. Ay! Yan, okay, Dennis! Ano ba nakamukha?
They're unstoppable.
Ito na kuha, nakakaloka.
If you were a millennial, I'd say wicked sick.
Your top tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack. Now, your systems are fortified. Comes next. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Your top barracks are under attack. Top barracks has fallen. Your top barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is fallen.
Monster kill. A dominating performance.
Putang ina, hindi ka nang galawan din. Mamatay ka, hayop ka. Tuwa, puto! Tulad na ito.
Your middle tower is under attack. Other side come to regret this. Your middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower is
Pihan mo na, be.
Pay the ultimate price. Your ancient is under attack.
I know I'm a pig, but you love me anyway. How to pay you? It's not time yet.
Haste.
My needs mundane.
Our tower has fallen.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I see you.
Ay, kasi lumaban. Pwede pa naman yan. Turbo lang to. B!
Your bottom barracks has
Oh,
fallen.
hard.
Barracks has fallen.
GG! Ayoko yung kakain na Johnson. Thank you so much mga bing. Malungkot tayo for today. Wala na tayong inaasa. Thank you, Bornok! Bye-bye!